Welcome to the Financial Wellness Academy, educating and empowering you so that you can live the life that you desire. My name is Katrina Ellis, and in this week's vlog, I'd like to chat with you about whether maybe you have overspent over the festive period and you're really feeling the pinch now. It is sadly a position that a lot of people find themselves in the month of January. The credit card bill hits or the overdraft limit has been exposed as to how bad it's gotten. And it can be a month that feels like it goes on forever. Maybe payday is taking longer than usual. Maybe you've been paid early in December and it feels like a very long time until the next time that you are paid. And it provides a lot of stress. It's a source of a lot of anxiety. And it is something really, I guess, that it is avoidable in a number of ways. So there's three kind of pieces I'm going to cover in today's vlog. And the first piece, I guess, is firstly understanding what it is that has caused this. So understanding underneath what's actually happened. So the what's actually happened is, you've got yourself in the position of debt on credit card or overdraft. But what drove that? So what feelings, situations, events, people involved that got you to that place? What decisions did you make that got you there? And understanding your psychology behind it can try and show you some light as to how you can potentially down the road avoid that happening again. Because until we understand what's going on beneath that, it is impossible for you to avoid doing that again. And it becomes a pattern that you repeat and repeat and find yourself each January in the same position. So, what is going on behind it? Was it a case of you wanting to keep up with the Joneses? Was it a case that you spent a lot more than you had planned for? What really drove it? And if it's a case of keeping up with the Joneses, this is something that occurs so often and not just at Christmas time. It can also be throughout the year, whether it's that new car, that bigger house, that amazing holiday, that constant reminder that what you are doing or providing is not at the same level as the Joneses. And the Joneses will always operate as they will. But what's really important is that you focus on your own environment and what is realistic for you. And it is so common for people to be influenced, especially with social media, as to what other people are doing. And I see it time and time again, people seeing what people are doing in the flesh or also on social media and being influenced by their decisions and their choices in terms of spending by what they're seeing. And often what's happening either in life or on social media is not the full truth. So you may see the amazing new car, the amazing house that those people have just acquired, or the fabulous holiday they've just been on. What you may not see is the credit card bill when those items land, or the massive mortgage and the stress within inside that house of paying those bills on such a large property. We don't see the whole picture. And often the pieces that are portrayed to us are the good bits, and we don't see what's beneath it. And that can really tell a very different picture. So I would ask you to bear that in mind if that's something that drives you to the spending that you have at the festive period or throughout the year for different reasons. And it's really important to observe that, because until you become aware as to whether that's a driving force for you or not, there's nothing that you can do about it. But once you have that awareness, it will help you make better decisions and different decisions, and decisions that really are arming you for a better level of financial wellness once you have that awareness. If keeping up with the Joneses is not something that is on your radar, and if you're getting into debt and overspending for maybe other emotional reasons, maybe it is something that you as a child had Christmas and they were pretty miserable, and you want to create something amazing for your family. That I totally understand. And I would encourage you to maybe think about, well, what makes an amazing Christmas? I have more recently been reminded that It's my presence and my awareness and focus with my children is what they most value. I can give them all the stuff in the world, but what they really want at the end of the day is me with them, sitting with them, cuddling with them, spending time with them, playing games with them, hanging out with them. That's what they want. And for that reason, I have very firm boundaries around what I spend at Christmas, and I communicate those really clearly to them, because now, as they're getting older, they also want to buy presents, and they have seen what I model, and they are taking a version of that that works for them. And so it's important from that perspective also. So you want to get clear as to what's the emotion behind it, what's psychology behind it, what's driving you, how have you gotten to the place you've gotten so far? And seeing then, once you understand that, how you can change that pattern to something that is more fulfilling, is creating the financial wellness that you desire. The second part of it, I guess, is understanding the extent of what the situation that you find yourself in right now. So taking your head out of the sand if you've got it in it at the moment, and understanding what's that figure? What is that total amount that you have incurred that needs to be dealt with? And then coming up with a solution. So what are the ways that you can pay this off? Can you potentially sell some things that you have in the house that you don't need anymore? Can you generate some extra cash through extra hours working or doing some other jobs that can generate income to clear that? Can you maybe tighten your belt a little bit more? Can you divert money from something else to clear that? Because ultimately, especially if it's on a credit card or depending on your interest rate on your overdraft, that amount of money can quickly spiral into a much larger amount if it's not dealt with ASAP. So it's really important to get clear as to what the total is and what are the many ways that you can take charge of this and deal with it as quickly as you possibly can so it doesn't escalate. The last piece around this is, having understood the psychology of it, got a plan in place to deal with it, you want to put something in place that it doesn't happen again. And I did this a number of years back, probably about 8 or 9 years, when I started to clean up my own financial wellness stuff. I understood first as to, okay, well, what does an amazing Christmas festive period look like for me? And I wrote down all the key elements and priced each of them and came up with a total. So let's say, for the sake of ease, the total is £1,200. So over the course of the preceding 12 months, I put £100 away each month into just a regular savings account on a standing order, and that amount is there. Come November, December, when I start making my festive spending, I can take that money out, knowing it's there, knowing that I've got a very firm boundary in place, and knowing that all the things I want to buy in that period have been provided for. The money is there. I don't need to go into debt. I don't need to put anything on my credit card. The money's there that I need. And that's a really simple way of ensuring that you're going to avoid in the future getting yourself in that position. So I hope that that was helpful and you have taken some valuable tips from that. If you've any questions, do contact me, on the comments below, and or drop me an email on the email at the end of the video. I'd love to hear your feedback and thoughts and what your takeaway is. Remember, without taking action on this, it's just information in your head. So please do, if you find this video really appeals to you and this is something you're struggling with right now, take action. There are many other people in the same situation. You can do something about this. See you next week on the next vlog. Thanks for listening.